Hello once again, welcome to the Bahamas and the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2019 live action from Atlantis on Paradise Island, the final table of the big event, the $100,000 buy-in super high roller. Hello everyone, it's James Hanigan alongside Joe Stapleton.
Hello my super high roller babies.
And I guess officially, Joe, this is the second half of the final table because we got down to 8 last night. We're coming back with 5 players. I can't remember an occasion we've ever come back with 5.
I can't remember an occasion you've ever allowed yourself to call 5 half of 8. You're usually too much of a perfectionist for that. I get your point.
I was ballparking it, Joe. I was ballparking it.
I get your point. Wild ending to last night. One of the most wild endings I've ever seen to a bubble of any sort of tournament, let alone a super high roller. But because that bubble is so big and players usually hang on so tight, we had a really short stack player. Greg Jensen went a little nuts at the end there, ended up bubbling. It was one of the more interesting ends up from 9-handed down to 5-handed that I've ever seen.
And the pace of play yesterday was really swift. I mean, we had to get down from 38, I think it was, to that final table. It didn't take the full 10 levels. It only took 8 levels to get down to 5. Here we are. But the knock-on effect of that is that this final table today is pretty deep. I think it's a 75 big blind average.
It's very deep. I expect it to take quite a while tonight, especially because the players that we're looking at, as usual in super high rollers, they don't make a lot of mistakes. I don't expect a lot of like pre-flop craziness when they are this deep, unless we somehow manage to get some ridiculous cold decking.
So let's look at who we still have in the super high roller. The final 5 competing for a first prize of more than $1.7 million. Can we just give credit where credit's due? Talal Shakerchi has finaled 2 big buy-in events in the space of 3 days.
Yeah, that is very impressive for anyone to do, especially for someone who's not a full-time poker player.
We've also got Henrik Hecklen, who is second in chips coming into the final day. He won the Super High Roller event in Prague at the end of last year. Jesus Cortes is a player we have not seen on the tour for some time, and we've never seen him in a Super High Roller before. The chip leader coming into play with more than 110 big blinds is Chris Hunichen, who is a regular on the big buy-in circuit.
Yeah, he's definitely a regular on the big buy-in circuit. We don't see him too often in Europe, but we do see him at the PCA every year, and it is good to see someone different at one of our super high roller final tables in the names of Jesus and Chris Hunichen.
And there's only one player we didn't name check there, and we should, because Sam Greenwood has made more super high roller final tables than we've had hot dinners.
Yeah, my dinner is freezing cold every night because these super high rollers take so long to play.
Joe, you need to get into position. You need to get on set. You've got a job to do.
See ya.
We have got to talk about the prize money still up for grabs. Yes, we are in the money, but most of the prize pool, $5.9 million of it, is still up for grabs. The next player out is going to get $485,300. Fourth is going to get $627K. There's more than $825,000 available for third place. And then we get to the 7-figure scores. Nearly $1.3 million for the runner-up. And first place in this year's PCA Super High Roller pays $1,775,460. Here we go. Let's throw down to the floor. Let's hand things over to Joe Stapleton.
Hello and welcome to the final table of the 2019 PCA Super High Roller. 43 players entered this $100,000 event, some of them more than once, to create a nearly $6 million prize pool. 8 players made the money. 5 of them still remain, all vying for the $1.7 million first place prize and this here shiny trophy. Let's meet them now. The player in seat 1 is a former EPT runner-up who's been MIA from the scene for a while, but he is back here in a big way from Spain, Jesus Cortes. The player in seat 2 is a straight $$, $$ homie. He's made more super high roller final tables than I can count. I count on my fingers. From Canada, Sam Greenwood. The player in seat 3 is no stranger to this stage. He was here a mere 48 hours ago at the final table of the 25K PSPC. That is dang impressive. From the United Kingdom, Talal Shakerchi. Our next player won a high roller on the EPT in Prague less than a month ago. He declared 2019 Year of the Hecklen. Let's see about that from Denmark, Henrik Hecklen. And finally, in seat 5 is a formerly #1 ranked online player with live and online earnings combining for well over $10 million. You might know him as Big Huni from the United States of America, Chris Hunichen. Dealer Clara, you know what to do. Good luck, everyone.
Welcome to the booth, Mr. Lex Veldhuis.
How are you doing, James? Good morning.
First hand, see Sam Greenwood pick up Queen Jack.
Yeah, it's 5-handed, so guys are going to be opening quite loose. Not that big of a chance that there's a monster out there. At least less big of a chance than when you're with 9 players.
So raised to 95,000. Talal with 8-7 off on the button.
Pretty awesome. He just looking to immediately put some spice into the game.
The re-raises to 235,000. Quick fold by Hecklen with the pocket sixes. So Greenwood out of position. Shakerchi here, the effective stack with 35 bigs behind.
Did I miss any all-ins?
Not yet. And that's just a call from Greenwood. So heads up to the flop. Hello to Ruben. Great way to spend a Saturday, ready for the final table and all the amazing chop, pot, danger zone singing that we have in store.
Oh, no.
Top pair for Greenwood, gut shot for Shakerchi.
Lex, how do they know? How does Greenwood know that Queen Jack isn't just completely in jail?
Because the rear is a little bit too small. So Greenwood opened to 95, and he only has to call 140 to see the flop, and you know he's fighting for a 400 and whatever pot. So he's getting pretty good odds. And I think that out of these players, he might want to play some pots with Shakerchi as well.
Well, Shakerchi has continued for 175,000. To call or to raise, that is the question that now faces Sam Greenwood. And a reminder, this event plays with a 30-second shot clock. The players do have time bank cards they can play if they need additional thinking time.
Yeah, pretty rough for Shakerchi that pocket sixes was folded in his hand. He doesn't know that, of course.
That's a check raise. Greenwood makes it 450K. Tony Unique says loving the coverage all the way from Perth, Australia.
What are the odds that I know another guy named Tony Unique?
You do?
Sam Greenwood raising to 450,000.
Ooh.
Shakerchi getting sticky. And he's going to stick around.
This timing is probably not going to work out well for him.
Turn card is a 7, so he now has a piece. Second pair. Greenwood more than a 4-1 favorite with top pair.
Maybe the 7 will slow him down, but if he was looking to bluff this pot, it might not make a huge difference.
It's one of those situations where with Queen Jack you think, if I bet, I might be up against overpairs and better queens. He blocks jacks. So if he checks, he might get some action from ace jack, ace king, hands, or 8-7. You know, hands that didn't want to let the flop go, but he does go all in.
Greenwood shoves on Shakerchi and Talal is forced to fold.
Man, it doesn't even give him the chance. Doesn't even give him the chance to float there and do something funky on the turn. No problem. That's all right.
Well, there is Chris Hunichen, the chip leader. We spoke to him before the start of play.
I'm ready. Been playing a long time. Looking forward to these opportunities and got some good sleep. Woke up, you know, about to get some food. I'm ready.
And looking at the players you're up against today, what do you think of these? Have you had much history playing with these guys?
Yeah, actually, I have. Sam Greenwood plays every one of these. We actually got heads up together in the 25K in Punta Cana. I was lucky to get that win. This Jesus guy I've never really played with before. I heard he used to play a lot back in the day. And he's taking a lot of time off. So, and then Hecklen, he's been around forever. Oh, Talal, he's a legend. I mean, this is his 5th final table out of the last 6 live tournaments that he's played, including the big 25K here, the 300K. I mean, he's just a living legend. Like, so looking forward to it though. Definitely think I'm in a good spot. Got the chip lead, so.
Yeah, Chris Hunichen coming into this 5-handed final table with more than 110 big blinds.
Very likable guy.
Yeah.
Big Huni.
So hand number 2, we've had an under-the-gun raise from Sam Greenwood, and Hecklen's getting involved. 3-betting with 7-5, and Hunichen's got ace-king.
Man, oh man. Early car crash coming.
This is a cold 4-bet from Hunichen out of the small blind. Action now back on the original raiser. Sat there with aces.
This is the dream. And Hunichen is such an aggressive player. Also online, he's always been aggressive. Over the years, known as one of the more active regulars. So he's definitely going to get some credit to be able to bluff here.
It's going to be real trouble for Big Kahuni.
So Greenwood will lose a time bank card.
Use a time bank card.
Just specifying that he hadn't actually played it, but it will be taken away afterwards.
I would kind of like to toss them in just to be aware that I don't have any more, you know?
He shoves. Well, that's going to get rid of Hecklen.
3.4.
Man, what a decision for Hunichen there.
There's the call.
No time at all.
Wow.
And a great spot for Sam Greenwood to double up and take the chip lead in this super high roller. 7.3 million chip pot.
What an insane hand.
Greenwood, a 92% favorite.
Yeah, I was like, he may want to speak to Henrik Hecklen about that.
Double kings, some diamonds maybe.
Flop 9-6 deuce. This could be over on the turn. Hunichen now has less than 1% equity.
Could be over on the turn.
Is over on the turn. So Greenwood gets the big double up.
The run out I needed last time.
And Sam Greenwood's now the chip leader with more than 180 big blinds. Hunichen drops down to 4th place on the leaderboard with 25 bigs.
Do you ever get away from ace-king there?
No, I don't think you can. If there's like some other short stacks on the table, like some real short stacks, but these guys are just too aggressive to be able to fold ace kings and stuff.
2.9, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 6. Going with the 11.5.
This is hand 20 of the final table. Queen 8 suited for Jesus Cortes.
It's pretty good for a final table. 20 hands in the time we've spent so far. Ooh, Greenwood with the queens on the button.
Greenwood raises with queens, and Talal Shakerchi elects to move all in, shoving with Jack 9.
That was worryingly fast call.
And Sam Greenwood, huge favorite to eliminate Talal in 5th place and have a stranglehold over the rest of this final table.
Oh boy.
Why did I all of a sudden get more interested when you said strangle?
Okay. I hope you're feeling good about it.
Because you're 78 shades of wrong, that's why. The flop does have a 9 on it, gives Talal a little bit of hope.
Sweat. My run out with you is just like 6'5" dudes, you know?
I guess check how fast is a fun card.
No. The 3 of clubs. The 3 of spades. Oh, Lord, that's a fun card. I'll take
Gives Greenwood a set, but it does give Shakerchi a straight draw.
Like 80% of chips in play.
Agreed,
6
Sam.
of diamonds here. 6 of diamonds.
The card is a 7, not enough for Talal, and he is eliminated in 5th place, cashing for $485,300.
Buddy. As always, pleasure.
All right, well, can he make 3 high roller final tables in 1 week? Because I assume he's not going very far.
Very nice situation there for Chris Hunichen. Makes 150,000 money jump.
I think those are
580.
Sam's parents on the rail.
No, 580.
Greenwood's in the house.
Nice, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really nice. Must be really proud too. What a stage. Luke was over there as well.
Sam's twin brother.
$80.
What'd you do to your arm?
I pulled like a baking pan out of the oven, and yeah.
And?
And what?
That's it.
And then I ate the cookies on it.
That just happens every time.
I mean, that's not even half a story. That's like the opening line.
Yeah.
Did it burn him? Were the cookies too heavy?
It's also on the top of his arm, I think.
I pulled a baking pan out of the oven and someone came in and stabbed me. What is the end of the story? I need to know.
I'm just gonna rest this on my bicep for a second.
Right.
So top pair for Greenwood, bottom pair for Hunichen.
I really wonder if Hunichen is going to check raise this one all in. We've seen it yesterday a few times. These situations, super short. Board that's going to be continuation back quite a bit. Check calling is just going to make you make some bad folds on the turn if it's a 10 or an 8 or an ace or a king. We see Hunichen as well, just calling.
Greenwood now a 9-1 favorite. By the way, with 4 players remaining, everyone's now locked up 627K.
That's not bad.
That's 800,000.
Puts them all in. Gets a fold.
And Greenwood moves over the 9 million mark, more than 225 big blinds.
This game can be so tilting sometimes.
Sometimes.
Just come in here with Chipley, snap kid ace king aces. Yep. So stupid. Got a gift there though, so I can't complain too much.
Big Huni now playing 10 big blinds. We come back to the final table where Chris Hunichen is all in and at risk. Queen deuce against Jack 5, so he's got it in ahead, but Hecklen has live cards.
I want to play a little longer.
Oh, I win.
Huh?
I hope I win.
Well, man.
There it is.
That's boring.
Good start.
At least a 10, right? 10.
No sweats
Morale
right
10.
now. No sweats right now.
You give me a 9 then. Let's do 10 of spades.
No, come on.
10 of
Nah.
Oh, pair.
5 of spades.
2-5.
2.1 mil.
Chris Hunichen has doubled up to 8 big blinds.
All right. Almost blinded out of the tournament.
Make that 9.
Cortes has been a little bit in lockdown mode, as he should.
Opening the button with ace-jack suited.
All right, okay, here we go.
Yeah, Hecklen with top pair. Cortes with 2 overs and a flush draw. Action check to him. Continuation bet of 120K. Hecklen now a 2-1 favorite.
It's a nice card for Cortes to fire on, like we talked about yesterday a lot. If the turn is a Broadway card, it represents a lot. Also, he just has full equity, right? Because Hunichen is so short and Hecklen wants to avoid dropping down to that spot.
Hecklen has been getting beaten up of late.
Yeah.
345,000 into 565,000.
I mean, getting beaten up is a big part of playing a henchman in those movies, so.
Not going anywhere. Good call.
An all-important river card with 1.25 million in the middle. 10 of clubs. Any chance that Cortes fires again? Any chance he can push Hecklen off an 8?
I mean, the board run out is favorable for Cortes. I mean, it's not massive. The 10 is not, you know, it doesn't have the same power as a king. But I think he's pretty sure that he needs the bet to win. Wow.
That is a bet.
All into call for Hecklen. We can see he's got the best hand.
Oh, what a great move.
And he folds it.
Not even a tank.
Cortes now up to 3.5 million, 70 bigs. Hecklen's dropped below the 30 big blind mark.
That move is so boss.
Yeah, that's really well played. That's how you have to play these tournaments, and he just pulls the trigger.
So Greenwood with the chip lead right now. Queen 9 suited in the small blind.
That's weird.
Hecklen with aces.
Very strong here. He makes it 4 times the big blind, something that he would do a lot if the small blind calls, and doesn't get greedy with aces, not afraid of not getting paid, just sticks to the strategy.
Queen 8 deuce, all diamonds. Action checked to Hecklen, who bets 150,000. $150,000 apiece. 7 of clubs on the turn.
So Hecklen really safe in his hand. It's so nice to have the ace of diamonds alongside it. Greenwood's gonna feel all right about his hand too. You notice that Hecklen is very aggressive, so can't just give him credit for an overpair or a strong queen. So far Greenwood gonna be pretty happy with his hand. Now that of course depends also on the action that's coming. This is a big bet from Hecklen. Not going anywhere, as he shouldn't.
Calls the bet of 525,000. Jack of diamonds gives Hecklen the nut flush. Didn't need to improve. But is that likely to lose him action on a river bet, Lax?
Yeah, I think so. Because a lot of the hands that Greenwood is beating are diamonds that are just putting some money in the pot, hoping to get a fold. And if they don't, they might hit a flush. There you go. Tactical time banks.
Nah, it's not going to work. So because he doesn't have the 9, 10 of diamonds, he does not have to bet, though, right?
I mean, he can get called pretty wide here.
No, I just mean, like, legally.
Oh, I see.
We saw lots of situations where,
check your messages.
Where people had to bet the nuts in the PSPC.
So Hecklen moving all in there on the river for 1.5 million, gets a fold from Sam Greenwood.
Got it with the quarter pot bluff.
Raise.
Started with like 920.
$9.45.
Opens with 10-7, Greenwood with 10-8.
What did you have the hand where he...
Oh, there might be some action. Oh no, lots of chop opportunities, but as far as we go now, Greenwood's kicker still plays.
$100K bet from Hunichen.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Call from Sam.
Turn card is a 3. So currently Greenwood's kicker still playing. More than half the time this hand is going to end in a chop.
I have so much faith in the deuce on the river. Maybe that's called hope. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. You're a wizard.
I have one word for you, and that's boo.
Can you manifest your own river cards that well?
Mm-hmm. Team Pro privilege.
So glad they let you guys joke about that now. Used to be you couldn't.
Yeah, it's the best.
I remember I did this radio show one time, and they said, whatever you do, you may never, ever utter the words boomstick, boom switch,
Yeah.
or doom switch, ever.
Yeah, Hunichen got pipped there, so back to the trenches.
Gross.
Yeah, it is gross.
Jesus.
Everything just seems to be going Sam Greenwood's way in these spots where either player could end up with the same hand and not going Chris Hunichen's way.
Down to 6 big blinds with just 8 minutes left on the level. Greenwood still sitting with a 185 big blind stack, more than 9.2 million.
I'm okay, thank you.
Holds it around to Sammy Sam. It's okay if I call you that? Sammy Sam, is that okay? Is that all right?
I'd take that as a yes. Hecklen in the small blind with ace-jack.
Walk?
Shoves on Hunichen.
You're all in.
Yep, he calls all in.
It looks like a trashy ace or something.
Sure does, especially when he makes that face.
Of everything today.
Domination Nation. Potentially for 4th place.
Hunichen at risk and behind. Could be our 4th place finisher unless he gets lucky. Not looking good. There's 3 immediate outs. He was the start of day chip leader. He's been short pretty much most of the last 2 levels.
Short because he's been getting the short end of the stick.
Needs a 6 on the river, does not hit. And we lose Chris Hunichen in 4th place. He cashes for $627,340.
Really, really tragic day for Big Kahunican.
So that leaves us with 3 players. And Henrik Hecklen has just moved up to 80 big blinds, 4 million in chips. Jesus Cortes is the shortest stack of the final 3, but he's got 40 bigs. This could be the last hand of the level.
All right, Hecklen opening up the action with a good suited connector. Cortes trying to decide if he's going to call or raise. King Jack, very powerful 3-handed.
Hecklen ain't folding to the 3-betting.
Cortes only 1.8 behind, so
I think he'll be relatively happy with that flop.
yeah.
You're so relieved for this flop.
Checks. Checks it again. I like this one because this is a lot more of a scary board to call with out of position. So Hecklen might take a stab at this one. Oh, really great double check by Cortes here.
Is the difference between a great double check and a bad double check just letting your opponent get there? Like, is it a bad double check if the 7 hits the river now?
No, it's a good double check if it kind of the situation works out for your hand as opposed to your opponent's hand. So if you know, sometimes you check the turn and there's such a small likelihood that, like, let's say the turn was a queen here or something. Well, all right, or let's say a 10. It's just less likely that your opponent's gonna bet. So then it's better to bet yourself.
Ooh. Spicy.
Check raises all in, gets the fold from Hecklen, and we are now on break. 3 players remaining in the PCA 2019 100K Super High Roller.
All right, so we see some a bigger raise from the small blinds. He knows that Hecklen is pretty sticky once he's in position and already has the big blind invested, so you want to make it a little bit bigger from the small blind to combat that strategy. Very important. You see a lot of people online also min-raising from the small blind. Don't do that stuff. It's I mean, it could be a very specific case when you can do it, but in general it's pretty bad.
Right now, Sam Greenwood is a very strong favorite to win this event.
Yeah.
So Greenwood fires 110,000 with top pair.
Hecklen's gonna check raise.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's another one of those spots. I don't want to give my opponent a free card. I could take it down right here. Probably good. And if not, I have an emergency 2-pair draw.
You have like 1.3 back.
Nice guess.
1.4.
Being able to estimate chip stacks when you just eyeball them is a very useful skill in live poker. I think Greenwood's going to click it back, so to say. Doesn't work.
So just like that, Greenwood increases his chip lead. 175 big blinds. He's moved over the 10 million mark, Lex. And Henrik Hecklen has dropped down to 22 bigs. This is hand 87. Sam Greenwood opening the button with Jack 10. Round to Jesus Cortes in the big blind after Hecklen folded the small blind. Oh, Cortes has got queens.
Oh, wow.
Interesting strategy. Elects just a flat, does not re-raise. The flop
Oh boy.
is King Queen 9 GG Jesus Cortes. He flops a set of queens, but Greenwood flops the straight. That said, if the board pairs, Cortes can improve to a full house.
What a nightmare scenario. Cortes is going to be so happy at this moment that he just flat called pre-flop, not knowing that he actually gave Sam all the chance in the world to catch up to him. But that's the danger of it, you know. That's the risk that you run. But
Sam Greenwood was the pre-flop aggressor. He continues with the straight for 200,000. Cortes slow played the queens pre-flop, Lex. Do you think he check raises here?
I think either is fine. I think that it's there's a flush draw on the flop, so that always makes it a little bit easier to represent some weak hands as well. Oh wow, an absolute brick.
Cortes still has 23% equity. Action check to Greenwood. 840,000 in the middle.
See if we see one of those massive bets that he likes to make on the turn. Not that much this time. It's still a hefty one, but looks like 575.
550. And this could be the moment when Cortes pulls the trigger.
Yeah, it's also... Oh, he's just going to call again.
He's still slow playing it.
Yeah.
Well, he needs the board to pay out on the river. He does not know it, but he's drawing pretty thin. The deuce is a brick. Greenwood straight still good.
What an insane setup. Will the spade slow it down or give him a chance to get away from it?
Cortes checks river. He's got a pot-sized bet behind. Is Greenwood going to try and get it all here?
$4 million.
Yeah, he shoves on Cortes. It's all in to call. How do you fold here with a set of queens?
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, you give somebody every little bit of space to make a move on you. He does call.
He calls all in, and he is out in third place. A set of queens beaten by a flop straight, and Jesus Cortes cashes out for $828,560. We are heads up in the PCA Super High Roller. And Cortes, great result. The first time we've seen him in a big buy-in event. Makes it to the final table, exits in third.
Yeah, he played really well.
Both guaranteed more than $1 million now. MBN. Greenwood on the button. Sevens.
He's trapping. Let's see if Hecklen goes for it.
Just calls with his pocket pair. A6 for Hecklen.
All in.
A shove and a call, and this could be it. If sevens hold, Sam Greenwood would have taken down the super high roller. Hecklen was hoping to go back-to-back, having won the big buy-in event in Prague. But there is...
Queen, eight, no, king, queen, 2 diamonds.
There is a 68% chance that Greenwood takes it down
Oh, well.
here and now.
Another 7 of diamonds. 875, 2 diamonds.
I'll take it.
The flop is 8-8-3.
So a card above a 7 now. Make sure it's above 7.
Right now, Hecklen has 3 immediate outs. Greenwood now a 4-1 favorite.
I'll accept 8-8.
It's a 4. So Hecklen only survives if Barry Greenstein makes an appearance. He needs an ace on the river.
This is where the The good one starts with the ace here.
Prettiest card in the deck.
River is a deuce. Give the trophy to Greenwood.
Again.
He's the winner of the PCA 2019 100K Super High Roller. He'll collect $1,775,460.
Lucky view, sure.
And Henrik Hecklen, who was the victor in Prague last month, finishes second for $1,284,260. Sam congratulated by his twin brother Luke.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy days. A great result.
Final table.
Sam Greenwood took it down, finally a winner in one of our super high rollers, and he's down on the floor with Joe Stapleton.
Sam Greenwood, we've done this once before, haven't we, buddy? Is it any sweeter this time?
It's about the same. It's nice. Everything worked out today. Yeah.
Was it particularly hard work today?
No, today was pretty easy. I just had the best hand a lot of times. I think most players, if they had my cards today, would have won. It was very smooth.
I assume now that you've won 2 super high rollers, you're going to retire, right?
No, I still need to get a little more, I guess. I came second in Barca, second in Prague, so I need to try to get the clean sweep.
He's going for the clean sweep, and I assume that 10 seconds from now, you're going to be down there in that tournament?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
All right, well, let's let him get to it. Here to help me present the trophy is Executive Tournament Director Danny McDonough. Let's give it up, everybody, for PCA 2019 Super High Roller Champion, Sam Greenwood.
From Joe Stapleton, Lex Veldhouse, and me, James Hanigan, it's good night from the Bahamas.
Hello and welcome to the final table of the 2019 PCA Super High Roller. 43 players enter this $100,000 buy-in event, creating a nearly $6 million prize pool.
Eyes, look at them eyes, bluer than the clear blue sea. Lies, nothing but lies, it's all you ever told me.
Yeah, wow.
Right. Cheers, good playing with you.
See you later today.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice hand, bro.
Thank you.
Fold to the king. I had a bad feeling about it.
Smile, look at that smile. Can nobody turn away? Why does it Texas sky crooked as a king snake? Fall, fall, falling again, falling right under your spell. Through you, I know the way by heart between here and heaven and hell.
Good game, Sam. Well played.